Netflix has announced that they are going to... They basically have control over all of the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah, because they... Why? Was that a deal that they just made?
Yes.
Because didn't Disney have them? Weren't they Disney movies?
At one point, yes, I believe at least the first one was done by Disney. Maybe the second one also, but the third one was done by like Walden Media.
Did Disney like ditch those movies because of the Christian implications?
I have no idea.
Maybe I'm scratching on like a surface here.
That wouldn't make sense because everyone knows about the Christian implications and the symbolism in it.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, because Disney's so far left-leaning.
But the thing is, they wouldn't have done it in the first place.
I guess it's true. I'm just thinking, like, maybe before they were like that.
No, I guess they've always been that way. Yeah. So, I don't think that I just think that the movies probably underperformed. They didn't do quite as well. Like, the first one I think did really well, and then not the second one.
The first one was good.
Prince Caspian. I like them all. I liked all of them. I liked how they actually had the same like returning people like still play the same characters. So yeah, what Netflix is actually doing is they're going to be producing not only new films but new series based off of the Chronicles of Narnia.
Like a show?
Yeah.
Like a cartoon would make a really good Chronicles of Narnia.
I think so, and
like Avatar style type animation, kind of.
Yeah, and maybe taking one of the less because there's 7 books total, I believe, and they're not all like done really well. Or they're not all like super, like they're not all well regarded. Let's just say like some are better than others, and I think the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is like largely considered to be the best one.
Was that the first one in the series?
That was the first movie. I don't see. That's what I don't know, because every time I've never read the books.
Never mind.
But every time I talk to someone who has, it's always just explained to me that he wrote it in non-chronological order. So you have the order in which C.S. Lewis wrote the stories, and then you have the chronological order, and then
like Star Wars.
To make it even more confusing, there's like a preferred order to read, which is not necessarily chronologically or the order in which they were written.
So wait, is Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe the first chronologically or not?
I don't know. It sure
seems like it in the movie. Although I think there's a book. I think I remember hearing about a book called The Horse and His Boy.
Yes,
which is one of them, and I think that like comes before like everything.
And there's something about a magician or something like
that.
Magician's apprentice or
I think that's it. Magician's apprentice.
Yeah, that was a shot in the dark, man.
Right. I remember I grew up loving the first movie.
Yeah, I like them, and I really think that they did it because they were just like, oh wow, this Lord of the Rings stuff is hot. Mm-hmm. Let's capitalize on something fantasy and do it ourselves. And they did great with the music. I think that the special effects, especially on Aslan, although it seemed like Aslan like shows up less and less and less, and maybe that's true to the books. I don't know. I just know that every time Aslan's on screen, I'm just like, I just want to ride on him.
And his voice, man, with a voice like that.
I mean, when it's Liam Neeson.
I will find you.
I will find you.
And I will kill you.
And I will maul you.
Yeah. I just remember, like, as a kid, like, the second one wasn't as interesting to me. I don't really know why. And then the third one was just, I don't know. I just lost.
The second one had a really good, the final battle, I think, was done really well in the second one. Like it beats the first one by a little bit.
All I know is the second one didn't have any Turkish delight. And, if there's no Turkish delight.
What a brat.
Yeah.
Goodness, Edmund can go jump off a cliff sometimes, but then he redeems himself later on. So
yeah, it's true.
So he's not half bad. So some of the things that have been said, I believe that the producers made this statement on Narnia. This statement was made by Mark Gordon, who's one of the executive producers. Narnia is one of those rare properties that spans multiple generations and geographies. We cannot wait to get started on the multiple productions we hope to undertake. Now, let me actually get into why I think that Netflix is probably moving this way. One of the things that we've talked about as far as streaming services go and what's about to happen.
Okay,
in the streaming world.
Yeah, Disney,
they're going to launch their streaming service. They're going to be taking all their content away from Netflix,
except for we had to figure except for the Netflix originals.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you can't take Daredevil and all that stuff.
So you're just referring to the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, the shows, those Netflix original shows.
Yeah, unless Sony, I've said this before, but I think, not Sony, unless Disney made it in their contract to basically say, hey, we're only going to have this thing going for a certain amount of time, and then you don't have the rights to it anymore. Mm-hmm. Which would not surprise me at all. Disney is super, super savvy when it comes to legal stuff.
Yeah, so they're bringing they think Narnia could... They're just trying to get whatever they can, kind of.
Yeah. They're just like, oh man, we're about to lose all of this because it's not just the Marvel stuff. They've got a whole bunch of Disney movies on there. Of course, Star Wars content, Clone Wars is on there. So they're going to lose. I wouldn't say like a huge chunk, but they need to replace it with something. And what better way? I mean, you said, Disney did the first 2 Chronicles of Narnia movies, so. How about they just jump in and buy the rights? And it is interesting to note this is the first time that any one company has owned the rights to all 7 books.
Oh, wow.
So
I think they should start from scratch.
I've thought of that. There is that as an option, but if they do continue, let's just say they're just like, all right, well, we like those first three movies. We're going to keep them as is and continue things. If you continue things, please keep the same actors. Please. That may not be an option.
I'm not familiar with the books, so it's like, what age are they? That's the thing,
I think they do get older, though. And I think that's why they showed that scene in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe where they are older, like they've aged at the very end.
I don't know how many books those characters are actually in.
Yeah, I've heard
like
that.
I said, Horse and His Boy, I know that,
true.
And then I know Magician's Apprentice doesn't use any of them.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like start from scratch, go in the chronological order of the books. I think that'd be
chronological for Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah, I would be interested in that. I would actually kind of want to watch that.
And honestly, now that I think about it, that may be the best way to go anyway. Yeah. I mean, it's just because it's been so long. Like I remember they came out with the first one. Then the second one came out like maybe 2 or 3 years later, and then the third one we waited for like 5 years, and now it's been a long time since that third one.
Yeah, so it's like you could either do chronological, or you could even do maybe how the books were written, and that way it kind of unfolds like you get pieces of story and backwards,
or do the preferred reading order. There's so many different orders. It's like it's so confusing. Like it's almost one of those it's almost one of those situations where the fan base kind of like turns it off for you. Like you're just like, okay, like you're making this sound super complicated. Yeah. Like this is like people who are not into Kingdom Hearts. I understand your pain. Like you getting into Kingdom Hearts would be like for me getting into Chronicles of Narnia. Like it's way too complicated at this point, and I don't blame you. So before you leave your comment below. Give us a thumbs up if you know what the thumbnail is in reference to.
Oh, right. That Stephen was very, very happy about that thumbnail.
Very proud about that. If you know what it is, go ahead and spoil it for everyone in the comments and leave a thumbs up if you didn't need any help to get the reference.